Hey, welcome back to another episode of CC Top Solutions. Today we're going to be replacing the universal joints in our Lincoln. On our ride home from Carlisle, I could start to hear a little bit of a squeaking noise, and then a little bit of a vibration, and then a ticking, and when I drive real slow, I can actually hear the clunk, clunk, clunk. And when I say real slow, like slower than idle, like with my foot on the brakes, going either forward or reverse, I could hear a click, click, click. So universal joints in this are ready for replacement. We're also going to be doing a little bit of just a show and tell on what we've done with our magnificent power window switches. It's a custom design, CC Top Solutions specialty. I fabricated my own switch bracket, which was nothing fancy. Then I used switches that are available from Amazon that I'm extremely happy with as far as quality, fitment, consistency. They went together excellent. And I just put it all together. I did not wire in my wing window switches. These ones right here, although since we're taking it apart, maybe I'll add it in this time. We'll see how motivated I am. Probably not particularly. The wing windows, while they are cool, it's just a novelty. But anyways, let's get to work on pulling our drive shaft so we can get to our universals, and I'll show you guys how it's done. Alright, here we are underneath the car. Here's our little workspace. This universal joint is unlike any universal joint I've ever seen before. Look at that. It's actually 4 universals. 2 in the rear of the drive shaft, 2 in the front of the drive shaft. And you know what's probably funny and true? I bet these universals are not the same size in all 4 locations. So you could say these universals aren't universal. Anyways, I've already been down here playing around a little bit. A little fun in the sun, sort of. The sun underneath the car. It looks like these are 1/2 inch, so let me try to get on here. Oh, that's not gonna work. Let me try to get on here and break these free. Hopefully these do not round off. And then we'll figure out how we're gonna get the front. I'm gonna have to jack this up or something. I'm not gonna be able to just reach it the way it is. You know, I was hoping this would be like, I just assumed this would be like my Mustang drive shaft or the Cougar drive shaft, and it's really not. Oh, this is actually kind of tight too. Alright, so anytime you come across any kind of fastener that's real tight like this, you could go ahead and just force it. That's a bad idea. That usually ends up stripping it, and you know, I just cannot stand stripping fasteners. So what we're gonna do is just get this on here and just gently tap it out with a hammer. That's all. Alright, here we are back to work. Oh, a little light on our workspace. Here we are back to work with a bigger ratchet, same hammer. It's not breaking free as easy as I thought it would. There. Oh man, it either just broke free or just rounded off. Oh no, it broke free. Ooh, maybe not. Yeah, it broke free. That one I didn't even bother hammering, I just muscled it. That broke free. Not bad. Hey! Alright, now we're cooking on both burners, right? Alright, we got our 4 universal joint, or our actual U-bolt bolts out. Well, normally they're U-bolts. Wow, this is one heavy drive shaft. Alright, here this thing is off. Well, these don't really feel all that bad. I don't know, maybe the front ones are shot. Either way, out it comes. And I was looking closer, I think it will just pull out of the front. Jeez. All right, I'm gonna reposition you guys so you can watch me pull this out, but there it is, just laying on the ground. You can see it was rubbing the exhaust a little bit on my journey. And that is one heck of a slip yoke came out of that C6 trans. Well, here's a neat little comparison. On the right, we have a 1970 Mercury Cougar drive shaft. And on the left, we have a 1969 Lincoln Continental Town Car drive shaft. The Town Car drive shaft weighs like twice as much. It's pretty heavy. Yeah, they seem to be moving just fine. As far as wear on here, this really isn't bad. I had a C4 Corvette that like, there was a massive groove in it and that leaked transmission fluid everywhere. And then this, I don't know if you guys could see it. If you look inside there, look at how there's like those 3 prongs. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Pretty interesting. We'll look at that some more once we get this in the shop and start taking it apart. I can't believe it. These are actually coming apart pretty good. I thought they'd be like rusted in place, like real solid. No, I mean, well, look at this. That's after just a couple of minutes of sitting here with penetrating oil. That one's already popped out. Look at that. Who would have thought? I would have thought for sure these would be a nightmare to get free. I mean, everything else in this car has been a challenge, right? I'm gonna need slightly stronger pliers than that. There, came right out. Huh, wonder if this one will be as easy. Ooh, nah, this one looks like it's gonna put up a bit of a fight. Nope, I think I just moved it. Yeah, this one's definitely gonna put up more of a fight. Nope, there it goes. I just broke it free. So the way I broke it free, right? Here's the orientation of this. I grabbed it right like that and just pinched it. So I pinched, whoop, here just to make this easier. I pinched like this, and that broke it free. Once it's broken free, pretty easy to pop the clips out. I think these clips are reusable. Nah, I'm just kidding. The new ones come with fresh clips anyways. We're about to go ahead and remove our universal from the 69 Lincoln drive shaft. A lot of you guys probably don't realize the sacrifices we make in order to bring these videos to you. I had to turn down Cheeseburger in Paradise. It's ridiculous, right? But anyways, here, you guys get a front row seat, and let's see how easily this comes out. This is the typical Harbor Freight setup, so it's a pretty loose fit actually for a 15/16. I think it's actually 23 millimeter, which I couldn't find, so we'll try this. Oh, that was nice. I had it on reverse. Well then, let's try that again. Oh, you know what? I don't even need that. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Just to give you guys a pretty good idea of how we're setting this up. You can see on this side, the goal will be as this presses out, the cap will go right through the center. That's important that it actually goes through the center. I've had a couple of them where I've just crushed the whole thing, which has made a mess. That wasn't easy to do either. I had to put it in like my my shop press. It wasn't like I was doing it with just this tool. Okay, let's try that again. Here, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but see how that's slowly pressing right out? Should have put this in the vise, huh? You can see how it's slowly moving that way. Trying to feel on this side just to make sure that it's not crushing, that it's actually coming out in the center here. Oh yeah, yep, you can clearly see that. There you go. See down in there how the U-joint is just pressing right out. So this is actually going nice and smooth. Another couple seconds of this and it should pop out. There, it's out. See how it just popped? All right, so let me rewind that, or reverse this. Get this out of the way. So now we just want to grab this cap and pull this the rest of the way. There, came right out. Oh, actually, this is in really good shape. See how there's still grease in there, and the needle bearings, the rollers are actually nice and clean. Wow, I can't believe how good a shape that's in. All right, so now that that's good, we can rotate this. So this is kind of a strange setup here. All right, that comes out. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. So this is very different from anything I've ever seen before. There's like a U-joint here as well. That looks to also be in fairly good condition. But I've never replaced anything like this. So as I'm looking at this assembly a little closer, it actually looks like that is what's bad. The U-joints actually seem like they're okay. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll go ahead and just rotate this a little bit by hand, and you'll be able to see. There. So it moves easy, bound, and breaks free. There, see how it's jumping? I think that's actually what's binding up. All right, so I've kind of pushed this assembly up and out of the way, so maybe as I press this out, it'll clear it. But I'm not 100% sure. I've never seen a U-joint like this. Yep, that worked. Okay, so there's the trick to getting that out. Also in excellent condition. All right, I did a little research. It turns out what those U-joints are called, they're actually CV joints, double Cardan CV joints. And I had already ordered the 4 U-joints. I had not ordered the centering yokes, so I just did that. To give you an idea on total cost here, between 4 U-joints and 2 centering yokes, we're looking at about $160 in parts. And I have to wait for them. While I'm waiting, you know, my fanfare, both of them, contacted me and asked about how I got these power windows to work. So I was going to show everybody how this happened. These windows I did not hook up. I did test them, they do work, but I didn't wire in switches. I do have room here, I just haven't done it yet. All I did was I took a piece of 1/8" aluminum, cut it to fit, and made my own switch panel. And these work excellent. But the wiring is a little bit tricky. I'll show you guys. The front switches are different. These switches are double pull, double throw. So you have 6 terminals on these. These rear switches are double pull, single throw. So you've got, single pull, double throw. So you've got 3 terminals on the back ones. And the way it works, right, on your front ones, you end up with your 12-volt power coming in on your 6 terminals. I'll provide a little schematic and I'll show you guys. Here, you ready? I'm gonna pop up a schematic right now. Did you see it? I'm just messing with you. Here, I'll pop it up for 20 seconds. And during those 20 seconds, let's enjoy some easy listening. All right, while we're doing that, I'm also going to take this apart so I could show you guys the wiring that goes with the schematic. Something else to keep in mind if you're going to do this. So I wired in these, just the 4 main windows. So you end up with 6, 12, plus another 6, 18 ring lugs just for those. If you wanted to wire in these wing windows, you would need another 12. So before you do this project, make sure you have plenty of lugs on hand. All right, here is the wiring underneath the switches. I think you guys can see it pretty good. And you can see how I just drilled a hole right through the panel and just put a nut on the bottom of it to actually hold the whole switch panel in. what I'm going to do to try and make this kind of easy for everyone, I'll go ahead and cut the tie wraps and pull the switch panel up and out just to show everybody. So this is probably kind of hard to see from here, but once I actually put the schematic up, it'll be very clear. Really, there's only 3 power wires coming into this thing, and then the rest of them are all your window wires going out. The way I did this, for the front windows, it has to swap polarity to the motor in order to make the window go up or down. So that's why you see the red and yellow on the common contact. And then you have your positive and negative on your other 2 contacts, here and here. And see how on the bottom one we have our positive, and on the top one we have our negative. So basically, if I hit the switch, it's swapping the polarity to the output. So it swaps the polarity to the window and raises or lowers depending upon polarity. And the way I did it, see how there's 2 wires here? I ended up using one actual power, positive power coming in, and then I used these jumper wires to bridge the power to all the other contacts that it needed to be on. And I did the same thing with the back. So for the back, it does not swap polarity. For the back, it picks relays. So you have positive 12 volts sitting on your common, and you can see this wire is the positive coming in, and then it's just a jumper wire tying the 2 commons together. And then when you hit up or down, it's just applying your positive 12 volts to these 2 wires, which are going to the relays that are in the trunk to raise and lower the rear windows. I also had to replace all 4 power window motors in this. They were all, it was unbelievable. You know, somebody had gotten in there and put literally little, I don't know, they must have been number 8 nuts in place of the plastic bushings in some of the motors. Some of the motors are just totally stripped out. Some of the motors electrically were open. So of the 4 motors, I was amazed at the condition I found. Replacing them was a bit of a hassle, but the Rock Auto motors did work. So that's it. That's our wiring for this. You know, I'll kind of move this stuff around a little bit. So, oh, okay. The power coming in, the factory blue wires, that's your positive. And the factory black wires, that's your negative. You can see it right here. Black and white, that's your negative. So that's something else somewhat important to keep in mind. So that's how that all works. I'm gonna go ahead and button that all back up, and I'm gonna show an overall schematic one more time for 20 seconds. That's gonna show all the hookup. I just happened to use the red and yellow because that was extra wire, extra harnesses that came with the Rock Auto motors. The actual switches themselves, I bought those from Amazon.com. They were nothing fancy. You can see it pretty clearly here. Double pole, double throw, single pole, double throw. So there we go. Double pole, double throw. So look, 2 throws, boop, boop, and then 2 poles. You know, basically 2 sets of contacts. Double throw, right? Up and down. And then single pole, 1 set of contacts. So, if anybody has questions about that, I'm all ears. I'm gonna button this all back up. Not going for a cruise today since I'm still working on the drive shaft, but I think I am gonna start the next project. We're making good progress on getting our cardan joints back together. I just wanted to show you guys how things are progressing. First and foremost, we already have this half together, and we ended up putting a new cardan. Oh, let me get all the spider webs and stuff out of there. Make sure you pull this plastic plug out before you actually put it all together. And the way we put that in was just like a regular U-joint, except for we made sure to have this in here before we put the U-joint in. This way there would be some clearance, and yeah, everything feels pretty good. 1 cup came out a little bit dusty, but not all that bad. The cardan part on the old one actually feels fairly worn. So I'm wondering if that was what was contributing to our driveline vibration. Which, how ironic would that be? These are supposed to make it drive smooth as glass, yet it was contributing to the vibration. Swing and a miss. So what I want to show you guys here, and you can see it here, note how I used the gold colored spring clips to put the U-joints in. They come with a variety of spring clips, and the back of the package does speak to that a little bit. And it basically says, he with the most gold makes the rules, so use the gold clips. No, I'm just kidding. What it really says is the gold clips are the most common shim thickness that's required to get proper fitment. I've never tried any of the other ones. These have always worked in all the old school Fords. I would imagine there's probably some modern 4-wheel drive type applications, or maybe all-wheel drive or whatever, that would require the different style. And then as far as installation of these go, you know, no need to overthink this. You know, just get a little grip, pinch, whoops, little grip, pinch these together like so, and just slide it in. Oh, it's in. Boop, done. Now we'll just go to the other side. So there's a variety of different ways you could put these in. You could use various, you know, like C-clamps, and you could also use like a press or a variety of different things. If you just get a little bit of penetrating oil on the outside of the cup, these actually go in fairly easy just using a little persuader. So that's how I like to do it. Quick, simple, effective. So you see how this side needs to be persuaded down a little bit so I can fit the clip. So no big deal, we'll grab our persuader. Look, nice, easy movement. That's a good sign. Here, get you a better angle. Oh, that's nice. Oh, something else I wanted to show you guys. This, I think, is crucial. Very important next step. Here is where that cardan joint rests. And this was full of grease, and there was a little bit of grease in here, and it was all kind of, it was the old original grease, kind of cruddy, and you know, here's the cardan. You could see inside there, it's not bad, but I mean, you can definitely feel some biting with how this ball is moving. I'm not sure what's up, if there's some rust in there or what. But it sits like this. Well, before I put this back together, I'm gonna put fresh grease all inside there. I mean, this part here, that surface is gonna actually roll around inside here. So I want that to be well greased. So something to keep in mind when you're putting these together. Don't be stingy with the grease. All right, this side is done, and yeah, I mean, this feels like a brand new cardan joint. This is a step that I don't want you to forget. There's a spring that comes with the new joint. One of my new joints didn't even come with it, but they're supposed to all come with it. Make sure you install this. The spring is tapered. It goes the big side towards there. And just stick that right in, and voila. And then we'll put our cardan joint on. To do that, we take our caps off. Always remember, wherever the cap came off, that same cap has to go back on. They are matched. There's a note in the instructions that says that, but who reads instructions? Cardan looks more to me like Cardan. Anyways, here's kind of a neat little view that you don't normally get to see. Here we have our 69 Lincoln Continental suicide door 460 with our cardan joints. So you end up with two U-joints and a centering joint. So 69 Continental. The next one down, that is a 1970 Cougar with just regular universal joints. 351 Windsor with a FMX automatic transmission. The Lincoln has the C6. And then the bottom one, that's a 66 Mustang 289 with the top loader 4-speed. So there's our drive shaft. It's a pretty solid length comparison. I have them all lined up for the axle end of the drive shaft, and then all the way up here you can kind of see where we are. This is ballpark like 52 and a half. This is like 53 3/4. That one, I guess that's probably around 57, but then you have to add in your cardan. And then look at the yokes. The Lincoln yoke, that's actually jammed in the transmission and broken right now. You'll get to see that in the future, but I did try and pull that out and I can't get it to budge. So craziness. Anyways, next step, let's put this drive shaft back in the car. All right, that's it, it's fixed. Now, new drive shaft is in, cardan joints are replaced. We are ready to go for a test drive. Oh, feels right at home in here. It's as if I never left. Oh, I disconnected the battery, hold on. One take, piece of cake. Yeah, I disconnected the battery to show off those window switches, so let's try this again. Ooh, belt sounds loose again. I'll have to tighten that at a later date. Power windows down. Nice. Let's check this one out. Wow. Yep, that's Rock Auto power windows. The Rock Auto power window motors. Just generic motors, nothing fancy. They work good. They're a real pain in the neck to install. Anybody that owns one of these Lincolns knows this is one of those cars that it's a challenge to do almost everything. Oh yeah, I can already feel that drive shaft. Woo! Huge improvement. I'm just kidding. I can't feel it yet. Yeah, I love that horn. All right, let me get my seatbelt on. Well, it feels smooth, but it felt smooth before, so how can I tell, you know? I mean, is the drive shaft making it drive smoother, or is there just, it almost feels like no difference. I think we need to actually get some mileage on it, because I would only really hear the drive shaft squeaking and clicking once I went maybe 30 or 40 miles at highway speed. So that's what we'll do. We'll put some mileage on it, and we'll check back in a few minutes. Boy, it's fun. You guys want to hear the 4 barrels? Right? It's a cool sound. Ooh, I don't know how much gas I have either. All kinds of things come to mind. Well, alright, here we are. We're going 75 miles an hour. This is smooth as glass. Oops, plastic bag just blew out. My bad. I'll get it on the way back. Anyways, you know, the Cardan joints really weren't that bad. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It's windy with the windows down. And this motorcycle trike thing in front of us is pretty loud too. But anyways, the Cardan joints really weren't that bad. The front centering joint had some binding in it, but not enough that I would have expected any difference. So I'm really surprised to feel how smooth it is now. A dead giveaway a lot of the time with universal joints, or apparently Cardan joints. The rear view mirror. That rear view mirror is shaking real bad at highway speeds. That's kind of a high frequency vibration that, in my experience, has been tied to either a drive shaft or a half shaft U-joint. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on cruising. This is awesome. I bet these people on the trike in front of me are thinking, man, we wish we were in a Lincoln. There's a guy oncoming in a Porsche. He's thinking the same thing. Hey, so this has been a total success. Those Cardan joints are replaced, drives smooth as glass. I've done a bunch of test driving with it. I've had a ton of fun with it. Now all I really have to do is just enjoy it for the rest of the summer. I do need to keep my eye on oil level. The engine goes through a surprisingly large amount of oil, not to mention a ton of gas. I tell you what, I think I'm getting about 9.5, 10 miles a gallon, but it's worth it. I mean, the novelties alone of driving this are priceless. For our next video, you guys might want to check it out. It's going to be a 66 Mustang clutch replacement. I'm already filming it, I'm working on it. Because I had the transmission out, I went ahead and had the transmission rebuilt, and I learned a ton, and I'm going to share that knowledge with you guys. I'm going to show you guys the gears that had to come out of the transmission. I'll show you where the wear on them was. The guy who rebuilt it, I'll put his Facebook listing up, so if any of you were considering having your top loader rebuilt, you can. And I'll show you what I ended up having to do with the clutch. I'll also show you what happens when a flywheel overheats and fails with heat cracks. It was very impressive. I had no idea that there could be so much damage. It's incredible. The knowledge that I'm about to drop on you in the next episode is amazing. So anyways, I had a blast with this episode. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. If anyone has any questions about anything they see on the channel, feel free to write in. I'm always willing to answer questions.